Are you looking to engage with your customers more effectively? You might want to consider an animated logo or explainer video for your business. This episode of The Chris Konya Show is brought to you by Luna Digital, a full-service animation studio located right here in Rochester. These guys are more than just freelancers. They've spent years building a tool set that rivals what you see at bigger studios. But it all comes down to the money, right? Well, Luna Digital can deliver award-winning results at a really affordable price. Do you already have a team? Don't worry. Their workflow is flexible enough to fit alongside your existing marketing efforts. More importantly, it means your budget can go further and do more than ever before. Luna Digital is the company we use here at the Rochester Podcast Network for everything from logos to on-screen graphics, design, and even inspiration. They're affordable, they work hard, and they help you meet your deadlines. Thanks for the love, Luna Digital. We're so happy to have you as part of the show and part of the Rochester Podcast Network. Visit lunadigital.tv and ask for Aaron Powell. Don't forget to tell them that Chris Konya sent you. Now, enjoy the show. My guests today, of course, have first and last names, but after bringing me something that looks like this, they can ask me to call them anything that I would want them to, and I would do it. But for sake of time, I'd like to introduce the guys from, is it Doughboys Rock, correct?
Doughboys Rock, yep.
We have Jim and Anto?
Yes, sir.
Jim and Anto. Welcome, guys.
Chris, thank you for having us.
Sure, I like your shirts, by the way.
Thank you.
We're warm for you, so.
Yeah, we did an event at the warehouse that I was working at previously, and they have a whole apparel, so they made us T-shirts, which is kind of cool.
So, yeah, they came out great. I mean, for people just listening, they're just a pizza pie, or how would you say it? A pizza pie, I guess.
Yeah, it's traditional Neapolitan, and it's just on a cutting board with
Looks
some
great.
cool basil.
Now, it was hard to ignore you guys. I know that the first thing that comes to mind when I saw you guys on Instagram is Chicken Out Rock. It's a pop-up chicken joint in Rochester. I did an episode with them 5 or 6 episodes ago, maybe more. Adam was great. They had a great idea, and it crushed.
Absolutely.
And I'm starting to see the same theme with what you guys are doing. I mean, there's a lot to it, but there's not much to it. You're a pop-up food place, and in your case, pizza.
Right.
Now, first of all, I would ask a question like, how did you get the idea for a pop-up pizza place? But unless you have an interesting answer, it's pretty straightforward, right?
It basically started with, me just buying a home oven, Gosney home pizza oven. I've been working on I'd say the sourdough recipe for about 6 to 8 months. Shout out to Nate Stahl helping us with that. He's kind of like our pizza guy, is always giving us positive and negative feedback going, I've made so many batches of dough in the last 6 to 8 months. So, basically we started just from the pizza oven at home, making dough every day, basically. And I started nailing it. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to start posting some pictures. Let's see, see what people say. And I got blown up. Where can I get this? When can I stop by?
Mm-hmm.
So
when you first started making dough, did you do that to try and start selling it? Or were you just like, I want to nail pizza dough as a hobby or as a aspiring cook or, whatever? Yeah,
basically it was just, I just wanted it for my I built a table at home. I just wanted great pizza at home, somewhere I can just, open the fridge, have a couple shells ready, bang out some pizzas, and, that's it, late night snack.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I hear that because pizza, a lot of, pizza rolls can only go so far, or
right.
Pizza bagels can only do so much.
They're
Fresh
still
bread
good.
pizzas too, I mean.
So you're the brains behind it. I don't want to say it like that, but it seems that you're the dough guy. Where do you come in?
I'm the pizza goat.
He's the goat.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No. I worked for Jim at Bronca. We started, 3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 years ago, I was the executive chef at Bronca Basin.
Sure.
So I brought on a pretty good crew, and they did wonderful things.
The Bronca.
Yeah,
they're well known.
Absolutely. Josh Miles gave me every opportunity possible to do whatever I wanted, which was kind of cool. Big learning curve, but me and Anto actually go back to third grade. Mr. Chodian's class.
Yeah.
So,
We've been eating pizza together a long
Wow,
time.
Long
history.
time, yeah.
That is a bond too. That between two guys, that is a
Absolutely.
bond like no other. You might as well have saved his life,
Exactly.
or married
Right.
his sister or something.
Right.
You eat pizza together. That's strong.
But Anto has a great background. We'll let him talk about that of his Italian-inspired
Yeah.
Sure.
Neapolitans.
Growing up, like my family was my biggest inspiration for anything and everything. But food in an Italian household on Sunday is like the way you communicate with everybody.
Sure.
Everybody comes over and on, no, Zia, John, whatever. Through trips to Italy, like just bringing back food knowledge and tasting things. And I just always wanted to be around food, and you can probably tell. But no, I was always cooking at home, and I wanted to kind of like take the next step. I wanted to go to culinary school after high school. Couldn't get the support. So I went to, get my business degree thinking, okay, after I'll do something, and, I'm going to make it back to food. So I was, posting pizzas one day on Instagram, and
I saw him.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
So-
All right. I see you, Anto.
he and his sous chef, which is another
Mike
one of my
Seifert.
best friends.
Right.
Nice.
Just,
Also grew up together.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
he went to preschool with me, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, way back. But they asked me, they're like, hey, would you want to, come be the pizza guy part-time? And it kind of just all went from there. Started studying every day. I wanted to get completely certified for Neapolitan pizzas, and then I realized how expensive it was, and I was like, maybe I'll just do it myself.
You've had enough pies over in Italy to know
That's-
what tastes good. I think we're
Yeah.
good there.
That's interesting. When you think about food, you think anybody could do it, right? Because in a way, anybody could do it.
Right, everybody's a home chef.
Sure.
No matter how you look at it.
If I come from a construction background where we didn't do the Italian thing every Sunday, but I was on a job site probably since I was 12 years old, whether it was in someone's house or on a big project, and I could look at something and go, okay, I can figure out how to build that, or I'm pretty close to already knowing how to do it. With food, it's a little different because you kind of just see the finished
Yeah.
product. You don't like the dough, for example. You bought this oven, you guys bought this oven or whatever you're doing, and the ingredients and stuff, but the process is
Oh my
more
God.
important than
Yeah.
the almost the outcome.
It's crazy because we have fermentation logs of just basically from 8-hour fermentation, room temperature, to 48-hour cold fermentation. It's crazy, and we finally figured it out. Last week we actually had to purchase a fridge because the weather is killing us.
Okay.
We're keeping it outside on ice packs
Oh, okay.
and our proofing trays, and that's not going to happen
No.
anymore with this
Wow.
90-degree weather.
With the summer,
so-
right?
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
benefit about living up here is when you leave your drinks in the car, sometimes it's a good thing.
Right.
Stuff like that.
But then the next day you get that 95-degree weather, and you're like, my dough is trash.
Yeah.
It's gone. Let's throw
Yeah.
that away and start over. So
Now we've had the chicken out rock guy, and that's the only other pop-up guy I've had on, so that's all I can really reference. How does it work? Same way, you have a window where you could pre-order and pick up a couple days later type thing, or
yeah. So basically, right now this is still our third time doing it, so we're learning as we go on, like the chicken out guys. So basically, Wednesday night is we're going live, either 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So you got to stay tuned to our stories because it's changing. We had a high demand this week to go on the east side, so we're in Fairport. But
They
so we
wanted
changed the
Saturday
date.
instead of Sunday.
okay,
Yeah,
you
so-
gotta if it's only your third time, you gotta bounce around. and
Right,
see
so
what's-
we're bouncing around. Next week is going to be back in Chilai, but we're going to stay posted on the stories Wednesday night, we're going to go live for pre-orders. It's first come, first serve.
So the Instagram's on the bottom of the screen right now, as you can see if you're watching. But if you're only listening, it's Doughboys with a Z Rock. It's DOUGHBOYZROC. Also, I'll put it in the description of wherever you're listening to the show. Now, I opened up this box here, and if somebody, what's funny, and don't take this the wrong way.
No, go at it, man.
If somebody told me this wasn't pizza, it was something else, an Italian dish that they do it only in Italy and whatever, I would believe them. So this is kind of a general boring question, but why what do you need it to be pizza is what I'm saying. Like, could you just lie and make up a word for what this is and sell?
Well, it's funny because basically the Detroit, that's the closest thing we can link it to right now is me growing up like Anto under the kitchen table. My mom's first generation came here when she was 7 from France, but she was born and raised in Sicily. she used to always make pizza, and it's known as pizza. It's just basically whatever was in the fridge. Obviously,
Really?
obviously this is, margarita based, but what she used to do is get a sheet tray and just make dough and just load it up. And it's kind of like Detroit style with a crusty, crispy cheese on the outside and, fluffy, airy, ton of basil and olive oil. You know what I mean?
It's funny, Adam, I keep bringing out Chicken Hot Rock, but he came in and brought me the golden egg.
Nice.
So, Adam, I still had to do the work to go get that chicken. These boys brought the food here.
Yes, sir.
They appreciate it. No, I'm kidding. Adam, you're good. But man, my girl Meredith is going to go nuts over this.
Absolutely.
We went to Chicago and had the deep dish, waited the 45 minutes that you don't know you have to wait, 55 minutes when you get there.
Always.
Yeah, always, at least. So this looks incredible. What's the average order? Somebody wants to order a pizza for the family, or they, have a dozen people over, 10 people over, whatever, and they order a couple pies or pizzas. What's the average spend per customer, roughly? You don't have to, I won't hold you to it, but are they spending $40 or are they spending $120?
I mean, it all varies. We got an order for Fairport for what?
I think it's $219
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, they went in. They got 14,
15
3
pizzas.
Detroit styles.
Oh.
And now I'm starting experimenting. Like I said, this is all experimental pop-up stuff right now. So we even got a couple Cowboys 27 ounce prime rib.
Oh, wow.
Bone in that I'm
We're-
searing out of the oven right now on a cast iron skillet.
We're
with some
testing the
red butter.
Gosney to its limits.
Yeah, we're pushing this baby. So.
And that's the oven. So what's stopping somebody from buying a Gosney and doing this at home themselves? I mean, what are they going to get from you guys? And I'm going to ask, I'll ask these
absolutely.
questions.
This is a great question.
First thing I think of is, why I'll buy this oven myself and I'll make it in my backyard. What do they? I mean, you're months or years ahead, of course, with experience. First of all, growing up, and second of all, traveling to Italy, and third of all, last couple months trying to make your dough perfectly with all that feedback. But what's the difference? What's the difference from them going on YouTube, getting a recipe, throwing it in their Gosney, and not having to wait in line and stuff?
Patience.
And you have to go with the natural leaven sourdough starter.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not natural leaven sourdough. This is a different recipe, but the actual Neapolitan style dough is all from a yeast starter I started back in December.
Sure. So if you're watching this later, 6 months.
Right.
6 months. So that's what they're
So
getting.
she's pretty ripe right now. I mean, you don't want to let her go too
Oh,
crazy.
you're saying you made the dough in?
I make the starter, and then I make the dough out of the starter.
So part of the pizzas that you're getting, let's say this Saturday on the east side or west side, depending on where you're doing it, is something you started
In
back
December.
It's like aging beer or whiskey.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh,
So
okay.
our starter is definitely mature.
Oh, wow.
So
okay. I didn't even
rather
realize
than-
that was a thing.
Yeah. So
Rather than buying manufactured yeast, which you can end up like smelling and tasting to a certain degree in your dough,
Sure.
we use sourdough, so
Ooh.
it's a little bit healthier. Well, it's actually significantly healthier. It's easier to digest, and
it's all
all in
natural.
all, like it's all natural.
Wow.
It tastes
Cultivated
better.
yeast from the air.
You guys should lead with that on the next one. Word of advice, you should lead with, be like, this is what we do. Also, we do this.
Right.
Because that is so appealing. I mean, it's aged. It's aged is a good word now because of the whiskeys and the IPAs
Right.
and the bourbon barrel stuff, that kind of market. But aged pizza, it doesn't sound like it's old pizza. It's aged or aged dough, however you would say it would be comfortable with your brand. But I love that idea
Absolutely.
of calling it an
Yeah.
aged yeast or aged dough.
And you can even take that sourdough starter and like throw a bunch of sun-dried tomatoes in it and let that yeast eat it, and then it turns into a sun-dried tomatoes starter, which is our next round of experimenting.
Do you want to always be a pop-up, or are you looking to get brick and mortar?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's early. You guys are
Yeah, I
taking
mean,
Yeah.
with the whole pandemic, honestly, right now we
waiting
kinda,
it out. Yeah.
We're waiting it out, and we're kind of enjoying, giving people something to look forward to. You know
Sure.
what I mean? Because I mean,
No, I hear you.
everybody's at home sitting on their hands.
Man, a
and-
comedy special's coming out in 3 days, and I'm looking forward to it like it's Disney.
Yeah.
Right,
I hear you.
exactly.
I hear you.
So right now, I kind of like to pop up. We'll do it once a week. If we got high demand, we'll do it twice a week. But we're still working, and we love making pizza. We wake up every day so excited to
That's
check
great.
on the dough. It's like
Because it's different every day. you know?
exactly.
And do you see yourself kind of walking in the footsteps of Adam at Chicken Hot Rock with like golden eggs or maybe golden pepperonis or
Yeah,
something?
absolutely, man.
Because he's, I mean, you got to.
I don't want to steal all his marketing, but I mean, he's doing a phenomenal
I think
job. Everybody in Rochester knows he's
Right.
killing the game right now.
I think he'd
man.
be admired, and it's not really it's competition, but it's not, because I would go and pick
Right.
up a pizza and stop there and grab some chicken as well. I mean, that'd be a
So
hell
let's
of a
do a
football
collab, you
Sunday.
know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's you guys should reach out, because both of you are on. You're in the infant stages, I think, of what he's been doing for a couple of years or whatever.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, run through that trail and then make it your own. I would suggest, because this looks phenomenal. I mean, I'm buying this. I don't care, if this is sight unseen. But hearing the
That's
story
great. Like we love that.
We really
but
appreciate it too.
At the end of the day, we want you to keep coming back and loving our product, and that's why it's all experimental right now. We're working our tails off, man. We're every day. I'm waking up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Damn.
Balling dough, putting it away. Like I'm not stopping.
But
so.
so what's the let's say the most inexpensive? Because when things come out that are usually new and there's a huge hype, you think you're going to overpay for something you can get for cheaper from a place that's been around, and like a Little Caesars or like
Right.
another chain or whatever. What are people paying for if they want to get just something for them and their significant? Like if my girlfriend and I were like, let's try this place. We're all on a tight budget because of COVID or post-COVID or whatever. What's the least we could spend on a one of your pizzas?
The margarita is like our standard.
Sure.
Usually,
That's the go-to.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's everybody's favorite. They don't want to admit it though, because
Right.
you look
'cause
boring.
It's so basic,
Yeah.
but it's
But it goes for $12, and I think the most expensive would be the Detroit for 20. And
Right.
if 2 people want to eat it, they have to be really hungry.
I mean, 3 to 4 people could snack
I mean,
on
it's
that.
pretty
I
thick.
mean,
Again, if you're listening,
you're
and
drinking a couple beers,
I mean, it's like a piece of cake.
Right.
This pizza here, the thickness of it. I mean, I can't wait. I would eat it, but it sounds gross when people are driving. It sounds, and listening, or even watching. But I will. I'm sure I'll post about this after I take a couple bites. We were gonna have like a healthy shrimp dinner tonight, my girlfriend. There's no
it's
way.
too
looks
late.
like that's not
There's
happening.
no way.
It's
I
too
mean, not
late.
that this isn't healthy, but
Sorry,
you know what I'm
not
saying.
sorry, actually.
But anything else you want to say? Get the message out nice and early. I mean, I've audience. It's only like 1,500 people once
Right.
watch these shows. I don't know what it's going to do for you, but I do appreciate your time coming
we
in.
definitely appreciate you reaching out to us. We're just trying to build a brand right now. We're just trying to keep it consistent, as you're going to get a great product every time you come. We are doing kind of curbside at the Chai Light pop-up, so we're setting up at the end of the driveway, so you can just roll up, grab
your
the
pie.
pizza. Hopefully, you can Venmo, whatever, pay. And we strongly suggest you to eat the pie in the car, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Especially the Neapolitan.
You're going to eat the pizza in the
Yeah.
car.
I'm having trouble not diving into this right now. But one last thing, people like to invest in people, especially in Rochester. Like, what kind of people are you? Are you married, single, do you have kids? I don't know how old you guys are. Do you have a specific goal? I mean, family guys, single guys.
He's definitely single, ladies. All the ladies out there into. I have a girlfriend. I've been in the industry for a little bit. Actually, my whole life, I've been working. I worked at Next Door Bar and Grill, the Cub Room. Right now, I'm at Char Steak and Lounge working with Chef Jeremy. So I'm just working hard on that stuff and keeping my priorities straight. You know what I mean? Working hard on the pizzas and,
There's something there, man.
That's it.
There's
I just
a little
want
string
just
coming
keep
out of
working
it. Keep
hard.
pulling. Keep
Yeah,
pulling at it.
That's it.
Rochester supports people who've been here a long time, who love the city. Even though I poke fun at the city sometimes in my other
Right.
videos, it's all in good fun. I tell when I go to California, a lot of people go, "I'm from New York," and they leave it. I say Rochester.
Right,
I'm
absolutely.
proud. And there's a huge pride here, and I don't see this failing if you keep doing what you're doing and just keep feeding the beast.
Right.
Really. And what about you? A single guy?
Single guy. My family, like I said, is pretty much everything to me. So, kind of a homebody a little bit.
Sure.
But no, I'm with Jim basically saying that pizza is kind of like our thing right now. We're trying to just make sure that everything that we put out is perfect. I'm a little OCD about it, and he
Good.
kind of has to
A
keep
little?
me in. All right,
A little OCD.
Dude, you know how many lights I put in the studio and moved?
Yeah,
When I'm
you
building
have-
this?
But it makes sense. He wants to make sure every single bite you take
Sure.
is set up for success. It's
every
perfect.
every ingredient matters. Every ingredient is thought about, and we just don't want to put out anything that's inferior to what's around. Like
Right.
we're kind of tired of hearing about like, oh, this place is good, like this place is great. It's like, I can do better. He can do better. We can do better.
We want to make sure that
And-
pizza every pizza tastes delicious.
When did you take this out of the oven? The one I just snuck a bite of, and then I said I wasn't gonna.
Right before we left here.
No, that was I probably took that out probably like 12 o'clock and then dressed it.
So what? 4 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big cold pizza guy, but I could crush this. This is delicious.
That's the pizza you leave on the counter all day while and you're
so
snacking
good.
for sure.
This I see. Which one? The Detroit.
Yeah.
If you're ordering or can get and you're ordering on Instagram at Doughboys with a Z Rock ROC. I highly recommend this. It's the only one I've tried, but you're not going to go wrong with this. You guys, I mean, I'm a pizza snob. I should have mentioned that from the beginning. I'm from New Jersey. So coming up here and having certain chains, I won't say which ones, where people, especially the chains, and I don't know if you do this, if it's going to offend you, but it's a personal thing with me. The chains that give you a circle pizza and cut it in squares.
No, don't do that.
That is like a insult.
It's sacrilegious.
But
but sometimes you want shitty pizza like that.
Yeah, you know. Then you go.
Not in a school. Come on.
You know.
Come on.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah, the squares. I mean,
Squares
that's
are fine,
insulting.
but like the circle pizza in a square.
square?
Like, doesn't
Anyway,
make
I'm just
sense.
trying to be nice.
I'm a
Don't
For
super
all
be
those
nice.
other guys out there.
super snob when it comes to pizza. This is great. This is fantastic. I would order this every week if I can get in. Honestly, everybody should at least try it once. I can't see you finding something wrong with it. Thank you guys so much for your time. I don't know how long it's been. I think that was a quick 20 minutes or so.
That's cool.
Again, at Doughboys Rock, if you can get in. When's the next? I'm probably going to release this on a Monday. So if you're watching this when it came out, happy Monday. When's the next time people can order? Let's say for next week.
So I'll be posting, or we'll be posting on Wednesday.
Wednesday night.
Tuesday leading up to Wednesday for a Wednesday live pre-order around 6 or 7 a.m. depending.
Here's what you do. Go to Instagram at Doughboys Rock again. Follow them, and then there's a notification thing where you can get a notification on your home screen when they post to their stories. I do this for comedians when they sell tickets or when a new shirt comes out from a brand that I like. You could set notifications. You should do that for something like this because I followed your Instagram story. How fast do you sell out when you throw it up on a Wednesday?
Detroit sold out in what, minutes?
10 minutes.
We sold
Right.
13 Detroits in 10 minutes.
These are like the Yeezys of pizza.
Right.
And if you don't know what that means, ask your kids.
And it's all pizza content. We only want to keep it to just pizza. So
Yeah. Once you see your pictures, people are going to want to.
We'll show you the yeast starter and dough and stuff, but we kind of just want to keep it basic, simple, sweet pizza.
Give you
know
a
what I
little
mean?
ideas of what we're doing. We're always making new pizzas. and-
R&D is on Wednesday, so every Wednesday we R&D come up with 3-4 new pizzas.
Let's end on this gem here. What's one that you thought was going to go right that did not? Like a combination of like, did you were like, oh, I'll do Frosted Flakes and peanuts or something?
on a pizza.
Do you have one that failed yet, or you're just nailing it?
I mean,
Because not everything's going to taste.
Yeah, not
awesome.
everything is tasted like exactly how we
Right.
expected or how we wanted, but we kind of,
we dial
took-
it up.
yeah,
So
we
like
took
we'll do
one
like a
away.
mushroom pizza, and then we'll be like, man, it really needs like that vinegar. Like, okay, put pickled ranch on it, and then it pops. Everything comes
Wow.
through. So we do a lot of that.
And pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
it's a hard no for me,
Oh
Chris.
wait, no, I don't even want to talk about this.
Glad we got the important stuff
Yeah,
out of the way.
thank you.
Thank you guys for your time. Check them out. Order their pizza. Support local. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Chris Konya Show. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Chris.
you.
It's been too long since I spoke clear and strong. Just something about this concrete gets me down. Hey, I live my days preaching on radio waves, just hoping someone out there hears my song. Hey, hey. But till they do, swear that I'm gonna talk my talk, gonna spend my money till the money's gone.